everyone, you're welcome once again to our channel. We sincerely appreciate everyone that has been following us till this point, and those that are here, our new subscribers. We are really grateful and we thank you for subscribing to our channel. We are here again with an interesting topic, and with me are two great personalities that will be doing justice to the topic we have for today. I have with me.
All right, so my name is Kachi graduate of University of Port on Department of Physiology.
My name is Brighten, final student of the Department of Animal and Environmental Biology, the Faculty of Science, also serving as the General Coordinator of JCCF, which is the Joint Christian Campus Fellowship in Unicort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So today we're going to be having a topic around examination malpractice. And just like I said, we have two great personalities in the house that will be doing justice to this topic. And they are not just here as guest speakers, they are also in the university system, in the educational system. And it's very important that we look out for people that are in this system to talk about this particular subject. Like I said, our topic for today is examination malpractice. Is examination malpractice a sin? So we're going to be starting with the terms examination and malpractice. I'll be starting from Mr. Kachi. Can you tell us what you understand by the term examination?
All right, so examination is a process where someone is evaluated, someone is assessed on a certain subject matter. So in an academic setting, your lecturers teach you, your teachers teach you a particular course, a subject, and then you need to be assessed to know if you know that course content, you need to apply it in the real world. So that's what examination is.
Thank you so much, sir. So we're going to be going to the next term, which is malpractice, and I'll be calling on Sir Brighten to give us a definition of malpractice.
Thank you so much. So malpractice, like the word goes, is any act that is against a standard that has been set. So when we say examination malpractice, we now see that there is a standard for that examination. What are the authorities saying? So if you do anything contrary to the instructions that you are given, it's actually a malpractice. You have gone against the system. You have not obeyed the instructions you are given. So even as simple as do not talk to someone in the hall. If do not ask someone, do you have calculator, do you have pen? As simple as that instruction is, if you break it, you can be termed as malpractice.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Brighten. So it's very important that we get to know the definition of these terminologies, because it will go a long way to help us in channeling whatever discussion we're going to be having around this topic. So just as Sir Brighten has mentioned, malpractice is going against a set standard for an examination. So we want to delve into those standards, let's say according to the examination body, the educational system in our country, Nigeria. So can you give us examples of such standards that have been set in an examination setting?
Okay, thank you so much. Now, first of all, let's look at the question paper given to you. The question paper comes with sets of instruction. It can even say, you have 5 questions, answer 3. And because you know 4 questions very well, and you know 3, maybe you know 3 very well, you don't know the other one, just know a little about it. So you are feeling like, if I answer this one, maybe the lecturer will forget. As simple as that, instruction breaking this malpractice. Then other instruction can be, do not talk in the hall, do not come in with electronic devices, do not ask your question or pass a written booklet, do not come in with your notes or your textbook. Also writing on your body, writing something before you come inside the examination and you want to begin to read from that is also malpractice. So those are instructions that must malpractice.
Instructions, set down standards. I remember when I was taking my senior examination, I was in XS3, and then I was meant to understand that before you open through the booklet, the first page, there were some certain instructions that have been given. And just as Mr. Brighton has mentioned some of them, we have those sets of rules and instructions, more like a standard that is going to guide that examination. And there are different settings in different university systems. They might have their own set of instructions. So it's very important you get to know what is required of you from the examination and the certain rules that are applicable. So it's very important. So we can actually know those terms that are referred or regarded to as malpractice. So that leads us to the next conversation we're going to be having, and I'm going to be calling on Kachi to give us the reasons why people indulge in examination malpractice.
Thank you very much. So, amongst other, some of the reasons for which people indulge in information practice is lack of confidence in God and in themselves and in their abilities. So, a student does not trust in his ability to read, understand, and give the correct answers. He does not trust in God's ability to help him or her remember and to see him or her through regards to when the lecturer is marking, mood of the lecturer, things that are beyond his or her control. Because in life there are things that you can control, there are things that you can't control. And even with things that you can control, you can't control, you need to like surrender them to God. Right? So particularly the actual way you can't even control it. So why not give that part? So there's a lack of confidence in God, lack of confidence in one's ability. And one of the things that would I say can affect can affect the student who does malpractice is that you are not exercising your brain power, so you don't think, you don't analyze. Your brain gets on becoming ineffective or inactive more. So you see someone who has built a culture of malpractice from primary school, secondary school, will likely do it in tertiary institution, and it goes on with life. So another reason again is peer pressure. So everybody's doing it, I should do it. Why should I not do it? And then there's this lack of conviction to say, okay, this is against, like Sir Brighton was saying, this is against the normal practice, then I will not do it. But because everybody is doing it and nobody wants to be black sheep among his peers, one decides not to, one decides to rather do malpractice. So another thing again is poor preparation. So you're not well prepared, and all of a sudden you realize it in the exam hall. And then what else can I do after? So it now brings to bear that for someone to excel and scale through without malpractice, he or she needs to assess herself before the exams properly, right? So that you don't get to realize your state in the exam hall. Right? Another thing again is learning has not been made fun and exciting. So students see it as a mechanical thing. You need to exert a lot of energy. So it's not fun and you can't comprehend, you don't enjoy. So when I'm asked a question, I can't be able to give the right answers, to it. Another factor again is the lack of proper knowledge of the lecturers and how to impact the knowledge. So you see a lecturer that knows or does not know, and that same lecturer could probably know how to deliver an information, but he doesn't have the body of knowledge, or has the body of knowledge but doesn't know how to deliver the information. So all of those things, they tend to be factors that you can't control. But once again, it's what we face in society. So you now see students being average. You now see students who cannot be able to understand. So I have a lecturer, everybody knew in the College of Medicine in the University of Port, Dr. Mene, teaches biochemistry. Now he teaches that in the textbook, teaches that in notes, and he will teach so much that he keeps on teaching. I am wondering, where is this thing coming from? So he's just so knowledgeable and can impart that information that he just had this natural desire to just know this subject matter because of his delivery. So I think, let me just pause here.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much. So you have said quite a number of things, and they are very, very wonderful. I will just add on some things you have said. Now, why do students engage in examination malpractice? So just adding to what you have said, now one of the reasons is also the lecturer factor. Some lecturers, they begin to put fear into their students. Why do we teach? Are we trying to teach to make people fail? Why are we setting exam? The lecturer will come and he will say, I'll meet you in my exam, I'll do this in exam. And you hear some of them that say, you cannot pass my course. For you to pass my course. Look, just putting fear into students. So amongst every other thing is the fear already in the heart of the student.
Yeah.
So even though they have read so much, there is this fear, no, this lecturer. So you see some lecturers, they want to ask you a simple question, they will twist it, and when you now see the question, you are confused. Imagine someone that had that experience last semester, coming this semester, that same lecturer is teaching him or her. You will be like, no, even though the person has written well, she want to confirm that this thing I wrote, that's what everybody wrote. So you now see that that's pressure there. So that's one of the reasons. Then he talked about poor preparation. Actually, whoever does not prepare very well is actually preparing to fail. So, and preparation helps your confidence. There are courses that you want to write because you know it very well, you can teach it, whether you go for night class or not. You just want, let 9 a.m. do and reach. So I'm going to inside this examination hall. So, but you see that when that preparation is not there, you don't have confidence. And you need confidence to actually sit for an examination. And so, those are the little things I want to add. Thank you.
An amazing conversation is going on here. I believe you're getting lots of value already. Want to get your comments in the comment section and tell us how impactful this section has been for you thus far. Banging on one of the comments you made about the system, which is the kind of lecturers we have and all that, I want to also add, looking back to our educational system and how helpful it has been in impacting the students. So we see that most times the facilities are not available to ensure that these students are getting everything they need to get concerning a particular subject. So let's take the sciences for an instance. You go to a secondary school and there are no laboratories. And then they have the physics, they have the chemistry, they have the mathematics, and there are no laboratories to teach them the practical aspects of what they need to know. So you discover that most times, not just because the students are not preparing properly, because those facilities are not there. The library is not there where they can get books and resources to learn. So it goes a long way to tell us that aside the fact that the student, they have a role to play when it comes to examination, the school, the educational system, the government, they also have another role to play to help that this menace is curbed, this issue of examination malpractice is curbed. So we want to look into another angle, and that is the foundation. Do you think the foundation of a student goes a long way to affect his mindset, his value system as it concerns examination malpractice? Let's say a student coming from the nursery school, the primary to secondary. So can we say the foundation affects the mindset of the students?
Okay, thank you so much. When we talk about foundation, we are talking about a substance or a thing upon which every other thing is built upon. Even scripture says, if the foundation of the righteous is faulty, what can the righteous do? So imagine you are supposed to know that 1 plus 1 is 2. And you don't know that 1 plus 1 is 2. When you now come to university, it's not x plus x. And they will tell you that it's equal to 2x. And you'll be like, how? I thought this is an alphabet. You know those confusion. So the principal things must be said first. Is a little here, lines upon line. It must be precept upon precept gradually. That's why they taught you A, B, C, D. Then later they started combining 2 letters, just like that. And before you know, you could read a whole comprehension. So foundation is very important. It's very important to which what can actually make a student involved in examination malpractice. So what is their foundation in their secondary school? But we are talking about the higher institution now. It means that what they did in their secondary school is very, very important. It plays a role as touching their current stay in the University of Port Harcourt. In the university. So now, if a science student did not attend his classes.
Mm.
And now you have come to the university where your lecturer tells you, I'm here to lecture, not to teach you. So you see that the lecturer is coming to build upon the things you already know. So there's nothing to build upon. So it plays a very serious role.
Thank you so much, Sir Brighton, for
Thank you
that
so much.
concept. So Kachi, do you have something to add to what you have said?
All right. So as regards the foundation of a student being able to call for either direction malpractice will be done or not, I
Mm.
think one thing I'll add to it has been a factor is that how that student, how the exams are being conducted
Mm.
during the primary school and secondary school level will determine what will happen in the tertiary institution.
Yeah.
So you go to secondary school where everybody do whatever they want.
Mm.
Teachers are not there, primary school teachers are not there, or you go to a school where you see teachers favoring some students, probably because they have a relationship with parents, or they just like this particular boy or this particular girl.
Mm.
Now that's already building a complex in your mind and be like, okay, means I can go to university and earn a favor of the lecturer and unduly pass.
No.
I can do certain things and unduly just pass. So the foundation, the learning environment, the how okay. So I did A levels in the rest of the Ibadan, and A levels is Cambridge standard. So we're writing exams and the teachers are not there, but there's a camera.
Mm.
And you are told not to move, not to turn. If you need anything, just raise your hand. Someone will come from the back room and answer you. Now, you can imagine that kind of setting.
Yeah.
So they are put in a place where you can be in a lab, like it happened for me, my second semester example, final year. I was just in a lab alone because the main hall was filled. So they say, we need someone to go here. I volunteered and I went there, and I've been in that setting before, so I can write an exam in a setting where I don't need a physical presence, and I'm watching. So that foundation will help either or so the level of foundation the person has will help to for the person to engage in malpractice or not.
Mm. Yeah, it's very important, the foundation of the students. I'm going to relate it to something that happened to me when I was in primary school. I was about to write my first school living certificate, as they call it in this part of the world. That's basic six exam that is going to take you to the secondary school level. And it happened that we were in a hall and then we just started writing. It wasn't up to 30 minutes. A teacher came in and started saying, well, number one, apple, number two, boy, number three, cat, and things like that. I wasn't really getting the whole scenario. I was like, what is happening? And then the teacher started writing on the board as well. So when I saw that, okay, these things that is happening, that means I can just come to the hall and just write, and I don't need to rack my brain to get the answers. I can just get it in a jiffy and all that. So getting to secondary school, it was very difficult for me to sit and read as I would normally do when I was in primary school. I just felt, okay, examination is going to come. I'm going to get the answers from the teachers and all that. But I had to redefine my mindset to ensure that I don't go with that trend to the university. So there are some persons that do not have the opportunity to have the right value system as it concerns examination of practice. And maybe it has been a norm from the primary school to the secondary school. And that's why we have a lot of them on campuses today that want to sort lecturers and the like. So it's very important that the child is having the right foundation. So this goes a long way to tell us that our teachers, the lecturers, they have a role to play in curbing examination practice. So let's go into this other aspect of the conversation. And I think from how far we have gone from the definition of malpractice and then the list of the standard and the set for a particular exam, I think it goes a long way to answer this question I'm going to be throwing to our guest speakers for today. That is the topic for this conversation. Is exam malpractice a sin? Brighten.
Okay. So the answer is yes. Examination malpractice is a sin. Examination malpractice is a sin. Okay, so someone might begin to ask or reason because they say it's help. They haven't helped those who help themselves, even though I've not seen that in scripture. And they also say, can I see my brother or my sister suffering? And they call it suffering. and I will not help. If someone is dying, I cannot bear you one another's burden.
Yeah.
Examination. Hallelujah. You know, they will also say, where is it in the scripture? Where did the Bible say it? What did Jesus? Jesus did not talk about examination. Of course, why would Jesus be talking about examination malpractice if there is a scripture that already addressed things about authority and structure? If you read the book of Romans, chapter 13, you go down, see how the Bible began to say, let everybody be subject to higher authority. And okay, someone will say, okay, how is that? Now, if you come to, let me use my university for instance. If you come to the University of Port Harcourt, our vice chancellor is the number one authority in that campus. You will see the senate, you see the dean, the HODs, then your lecturers. Now, so it means that your examiners, they are the least when it comes to the structure of authority in that school. So our examiners, even when they break that instruction and allow you cheat, don't say they've permitted it, because the highest authority has not granted the permission. So for examination malpractice, for we to say it's no longer a sin, it has to come from God himself. Because the Bible says he is the one that did what? Set up every other structure. So even when VC even tells you to break the structure, he's not the one that put it up. He's not the one that set it up. Whether we like it or not, he's not the one that set the University of Port Harcourt. There is a God in heaven, even though he's not physically working, that is working through the minds of men to ensure that systems are set up on earth. So every system is actually subject to the Lord. So, and if a system has said this thing is wrong, and in the lens of justice, we all know that that thing is wrong, even when that system comes to say that thing is not right, does not make it right. For instance, we see what is going on about the gender inequality in the West. We are seeing gay marriages. Does that, even though the system have not come to put it as a law that it is right, does that not mean it's right? Because we are not seeing that that system is not against this, the one who set it up. So you now see that even in examination malpractice, your teacher, your lecturer is not the person to tell you that, oh, you're right, nothing. No, it is God. So as long as you have compromised that system, it's funny how even in our nation, people at the top compromise the same system they are under. So at the top there, you have God on top of it. So if God is saying it's not a sin, then it's not a sin. But if there is a written thing that we now compromise, because time will not even come on earth that will rewrite our rules and regulations in examination. Because every nation has the reason why they are training their people. You know, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. You know, it's funny how parents these days see going to the university as a ticket to wealth. You know, I somehow want to begin to believe that examination malpractice is more among the average people, the poor, because the parents want to do everything possible to ensure that their children get to that place and contend with the children of the rich when they get to that height. But you see that the rich, they know that no, this education, there is something more. So they give them quality education. They learn and learn and learn, and until they can actually practice that thing they are doing. Because one, if they graduate, they're not looking for a job. There is money. But for the poor, they have to do something to at least have something that can present them well in the society. You get, so for us to present them well in the society. So you now see that because of that, our parents, they are pulling on all sides to make sure that we compromise. But them doing that does not mean that there is not a God that has set up those structures to say this is not correct or this is not right. So examination malpractice in all rank is a sin. It's a sin, and we must see it that way.
Thank you so much, Sir Brighton. I believe Sir Kachi has something to add to it.
All right. Just something brief. So, what makes a thing a sin? It's not from the viewpoint of man, but from God's viewpoint. So, anything that is in aberration to the nature of God or to what God has said is sin. So, if you look through the scriptures, you will see a case where God unduly favored anybody. Unduly. No. Because he is a just God, he's a righteous God, right? So if there's a ground for which there's an undue favor, the devil, who is the accuser, will say, that there's something is wrong somewhere with this person. So you cannot now, so these other people, why are you now, right? And even when some people will say, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated, all of those things were to prove God's plan, to show God's plan, not necessarily to bring someone down or to unduly favor one over another. Right now, that is God's nature, right? So anything against his nature is sin. There's a part of scripture that says anything not done with faith is sin. Anything not done with a belief in God, sin. So you now see that examination malpractice, you don't trust God. You trust another person, or you trust electronic devices, you trust your money to make a way for you. You don't even trust, because God has created you, He has created you, your brain, everything. So you don't trust in what He has done in you to be able to help you to excel. So you are born against what He wants. And then the aspect of obviously sitting on duty and be like, this course, can we, there's something we can do, sir, to help ourselves, you know, that kind of, and then over and against someone who labored very well and passed. So that is also that is another view of view to bring us to understand that examination malpractice and obviously for us as law students.
It's very important. It's a concept that needs to be understood and also shared to people to also get the same view about it. Because the world we live in today has preoccupied the minds of young people that you can pass an exam without involving or indulging in exam malpractice. And most times when you try to stand out as a believer, or maybe someone that is just a moralist with your own value, they tend to paint you a particular picture and call you names or what have you. So it's very important we have this conviction at our fingertips. So wherever we find ourselves, just like you rightly mentioned about the experience you had in your A level. So even when nobody is watching, we are standing our ground against this menace that is ravaging the university system, not just university, the educational system in its entirety. So we want to go into another aspect that is very important in this conversation, and that's to talk about how do we curb examination malpractice? How do we stop this? It's already spreading. It's already like it's way.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in primary six, you can imagine how many years down the line, and even to this moment, it's something that is almost in every let us say every, but in most of our systems in the country, in our nation. So how do we curb examination malpractice? So Brighten.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this question because I, for one, have had an issue with our system. Now, I've sat down to analyze the Nigerian educational structure and everything. And I think when it comes to the university, I think there is an issue. Now, seeing that, one, some lecturers receive money to pass some students, and some persons will become victim because sometimes they would have submitted that 70% had A, 50% had B, this number of person had C. So when persons are not bringing money, what they will now do is a swap to ensure that you have told the senior that is 70, so you still have to remain 70. So first of all, I think what we need to do, I would not say let's eradicate poverty. Coming from the last point I was making, I wouldn't say that because I don't think it's very easy for us as a nation now. But I think what we need to do is, first of all, let's ask ourselves, why are we learning? Why are we in school? What is this education for? Is it so that I will have a certificate that we used to go and look for a job? Because if it's for a job, and how much are they paying currently in Nigeria? Convert it to the dollar, look at the dollar rates now, you see that even if I was speaking with a lecturer and he told me, Brighton, what they pay us 400,000 naira as at 10 years ago compared to now is like we are being than paid. So convert it to dollar and look at what they are. So you see that certificate is no longer the tool now to wealth. It's not even a tool to great opportunity, but how much you are prepared for something. So if we're talking about, okay, how much are you prepared for anything, and that is our standard, you see that many persons will begin to equip themselves with the more better. So I'm a medical doctor, yes, can you do this? And the person does it, and is a basis for employment, not you bring your certificate, you now lobby to get that job. So if we can begin to, we set a system in our nation that rewards effort, like he was saying, rewards effort and pay for excellence, I think we'll begin to have quality.
Yeah.
Now, I also think another thing we can do in the university is to change our system of grading. You know, University of Odako, we do 30-70, 30 CA, 70 examination.
Yeah.
So it means I have to prepare so much for my examination. I have to do all things by all means. It's 70. And your lecturers, they don't give you 30, no matter what you do in the CA. When I was in my first year, we had practical manual and they said that's our 30 and we write the exam. So you see that all you do in the semester, all the practicals and everything, even when you are sure that when you go through it line by line, you did not make a mistake, what they will do is that they will just randomly be giving everybody 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe highest 25, they come back and do that. And they will tell you, I can't get 30. Why? If the person did it correctly, why can't that person get 30? So you see that system.
Yeah.
So we can break down our grading system. So examination can be, even for me, I will cancel 40%. Attendance to class, participation, tests, practicals, all of them should be considered. Because if we consider these things, and I know that I have to come to class, do my assignment, go for field trip, do all these things to have 60. I'm telling you that I will not be afraid of the exam coming, the 40. So you see that you engage the students more.
Yeah.
Because if I'm coming to write an examination is 70 mark, I can decide to be at home. Please snap and send me notes. And I might even decide to miss the test. And if you can even prepare very well, if let's say for a believer now go and make 50 and it's okay with the 50, have a C, why should I go to class when I can be working? Because we see that's what most of our students do. They are working and they don't go for classes. They just shut down and do a crash preparation for the examination because that number is very high. 70 is very high. So having said that, if we change that system, we will make more persons participate. We will increase the quality of our delivery. We will have more persons who will become more confident to face the examination. So that's one of the things we can do. Then another thing we can also do to see that we curb these menaces, we have to now look at our lecturers. What are they doing? In fact, before we even consider what they are doing, what is their reward system like? Because some lecturers have like 3-4 jobs. Some of them have like 7 things they are managing, and they are lecturers. You're expecting them to teach from morning till afternoon, and at the month when it's month end, what you are paying them and what the economy is saying is totally not the same. So by the time they are fueling their vehicle, why do they want to teach with all their heart? So lecturer can just come, take the notes, prepare for their exam, and they will not put in their best in it because their best is not being rewarded. So we need to look at what we reward our lecturers with, our teachers, what do we reward them with, so they can actually put in more effort to it. Then when we do that, we can now begin to now evaluate what they are doing. Then I think for the university, they can begin to do things like following up CAs before exam. CAs should be seen before exam. If CAs are seen before exam, I think a student will also know how well I now need to prepare, seeing that this is what I have. So I think my brother here will have add to more of the things I've just said. Thank you.
Writing for that. Sakachi, do you have anything to add to what he has said?
All right. So we are looking at how to curb malpractice.
Mm.
So he has said something about having to know the why. Why would you discuss? What's the life application of this? Right. One other thing I want to add as a way to call back practice, students have to properly prepare themselves, right? Um, an unexamined life will obviously not be a successful life, not be a fulfilled life,
Yeah.
right? So everyone who wants to sit for an exam and knows that he or she needs to pass, you need to assess yourself. A student who does not see past questions until like 1 week to the exam, it's not a serious student, to be honest. So I was taking a seminar on academics, and I was addressing probably a crowd of around 70. And I asked the question, I said, as at the time I was having that seminar, it was 32 days to Uniport second semester exam currently. Now I asked and I said, if you know you are 60% ready for this exam, just raise your hand. Now only two persons raised their hand. The whole of 70 persons, 60% ready, 32 days to exam. Then I asked one of the persons, I said, what was your last CGPA? I said 4.6. I said, why would you have 4.6? Because she's 60% ready, 32 days to exam. So by the time it's 1 week to exam, she's done. It's like she's done. There's confidence. She's well prepared. She has assessed herself. So she knows what she can deliver. And when you deliver it, when you see a strange call, you can ask for a remark because you know how well you have prepared yourself. And as you talked about publishing, continuous assessment scores, CA scores, so that students will be like, okay, I have 20 over 30 in this course. I need this grade to score an A, to score a B, to score whatever. So that is very important. Another thing again I feel is necessary to call malpractice is uh, introduction of electronic media in our conduct of tests and exams. Now, a bit of the manual things we do has increased corruption a lot. So someone can be writing and decide to exchange his answer sheet to somebody.
Yeah.
That answer sheet can go from south to north and then come back. And the person will do it around and then it moves again east to west. So once we now employ electronic media, of which I think we're saying that Uniport can have that capacity to do that. You see that you are seeing your question on the screen, give your answer, you're done. You possibly see your grades there, sir. See your grade, and you know what to expect, and you're fine. And then there's a register to it and all of that. So that will greatly reduce a lot of malpractice. That will greatly reduce things to a setting bare minimum, very much. Now, one other thing again, I think we can do to curb malpractice is I think we still need to go to our value system as a society. Right? We need to redefine what our value system is. Now, if we see someone who's a governor in charge of a company here and there that is there and does not have the required academic knowledge or does not have the required experience to get to that place, it will obviously not encourage me to read my books because I feel that I can take that person's steps or go around the corners and get to that point. So why stress myself? Why read? And I love the fact that I talked about curbing poverty because it's a very big push. It's very why do you have crime? Poverty. Why do you have unrest? Poverty. Poverty. So when you see that everybody is fine, you discover that people can have a choice. I want to go to school or I don't want to go to school. And then you're in school. And then you are serious with what you are doing because you want to achieve academic excellence. And one other thing again I think we can do to curb malpractice is the environment of learning needs to be redefined. How are laboratories like? Do we have the necessary equipment and apparatus in relation to the world standard? Right? If you bring a student of medicine and in Nigeria and compare with the student of medicine in the UK, what's the level of standard? Now, I mean, medicine, at least I know for sure that the way medical doctors teach, or those that teach, they teach you so that if you go abroad, you're able to practice very well. And that's why you see, particularly Nigerian trained doctors go there and excel because the doctors here train you with that mindset, even though you are not seeing stuff. They'll just make you know it because they know that you will go there and you can't make a mess of yourself. But what about other courses? Right? So our laboratory equipment, our learning environment to be, I have a lecturer who comes in the class and then he's ranting because he's sweating, he's shouting, the whole class. A lecture hall that should take 150 persons, taking 1.5. And it's crazy. And like
There's no
you're
light.
drinking water, yeah, there's no light. You're drinking water, I'm telling you, people will give me this class. And then he's not delivering what is because he's lost. The environment is tricky. You cannot students too, they are suffocating, but then they don't eat before coming to class, and you're like, what is this man saying? He's just gonna go next. They can't retain, they can't remember. Right? So all of those things needs to be checked. All of these things need to be checked. And I think another thing again is I think we need to raise our bar academically. Yeah, I think we need to raise our bar academically. The bar is too low that anybody feels that they can cheat and just pass. I've never had an open test experience before. But from what I've heard is that they can do an open test experience. You can access your textbook and your notes and you still fail. So what about the question that even with an open test, people still fail? It means there's something, maybe an application of that knowledge that you will not see. So unless you know the application, you're going to fail. So here's the standard. You discover that people who want to now come in to study their books and they know what they're coming in. They're not just coming because you have to have a book. Right? They know that if I can't, I won't know. Right? And then not as though at some point you have the flip side, you have that undue pressure to cheat because they're like, hey. But it would help to sanitize this because not any just kind of person can pass this level.
Yeah.
So you have to know it to pass. So with that, we can bring our practice to very, very minimum. And then lastly, our examination environment. Like I cited an example for myself. There was a camera in the University of Ibadan for my advanced level, A-level Cambridge exams. And there was no teacher. And we're spaced. Like I'm there, the next person is there. If you need anything, the instructions are there. If you need anything, raise your hand. Someone is in the back room, we see you and come and say, what do you want? Even if you need a pencil, they'll say, okay, you have a pencil. Okay. This is where you get it, right? Yeah, go and get it. Come back. So that kind of environment, you have an environment, the lecturer just say, don't make noise, don't make noise. I'm outside. Everybody does what they do. Or in the case where you see a lecturer will come and they make big money as a result of examinations. Yeah. You want to pass, someone will say, I have 2K here now, 3K here now. And by the time they go around for like 100 students, that's about 300,000 naira in one exam. Because there are some courses that you see 500, 400 persons sitting down, plus carryover students sitting down for that exam. So there's a lot of desperation. So they're like, so I have 3K now. Just, I want to do what I want to do. I will not make noise. I'm fine. So I have 5K. And this man has generated more than his monthly salary for one exam because it's great. So there's a whole lot, there's a value chain that needs to be checked. So I think with that, you can be able to help my practice. You're going to bring it down to very minimum. I don't know if these are flowing, but let me just add this. I think people need to realize what their capacities are. Many times we have students in a certain department and they don't have the capacity to excel there. Maybe due to parental pressure, due to peer pressure, or what is viable in society. Right? So you are somewhere and you don't have the mental capacity. They are going to struggle and do malpractice. Right? So how do we assess students? How do we define, okay, these are suggestion and counsel for you, particularly at the secondary school level, before you even choose whether sciences or arts. I remember then, okay, I went to Federal Government College for it. I remember then, before you choose, you have like 2 times you must see the guardians and counselor, like person in charge of guardians and counselor, 2 times. To be like, what do you like? So the person will be, okay, this is what we want. Tell your parents. So let them look as if it's just guidance and counselor and then you. So you tell your parents like, this is the evaluation and this is what I'm choosing. So your parents can either be like, okay, I think it's fine. So, but you see people, hey, let's do theater art, and then like theater art. Oh yeah, now time for rehearsals every day and all of that. You can't. You see, or the sciences and all of that. So I think we have to get to the point where we need to assess people's abilities and then now tell them to the best place where they can be mentally capable of excel us.
Let me just add to this. Now, I think as touching this, one of the things we could also do is let's look at our certification.
Yeah.
You know, it's so obvious that everywhere you want to apply for a job, bring your bachelor's degree, bring your bachelor's degree, and it means everybody has to now look for what bachelor's degree. So even persons are not supposed to be in this school because it's looking like everybody now has to be in school.
Yeah, let's just say
So bring a bachelor's degree. So can't we come to a point? For instance, a company will be looking for a photographer and they're asking for bachelor's degree. There should be a certification for someone who is a professional photographer. So we can begin to structure it. If you go over there in the UK, footballers they have their own academy. They give them certificates and like there are things. So if we begin to do these things, and someone has looked at their capacity and what they want to go into this maybe civil engineering. They go there. I want to go into maybe fashion and design. You go there and you'll be given certificates for it. And if you have to if you have to make use of a certificate, it will be that certificate. Or that was not that bring a certificate from University of Ghana saying you have bachelors on things you didn't have interest in.
however will you get
However, we
Not
don't
get
care.
it.
Just ensure you come with your certificate. So I think if as a nation we can do that, we don't also begin to look at people that don't have that certificate as commoners. They are low. No, if we begin to even put priorities and kind of put value on whatever people have as skills,
Skills, yeah.
I think we'll really shift the mind of the generations coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That last point there, talking about skills, it's something that has been underrated in our nation. And it's very important that, just like you said, raise the value chain. And those things are very important. So we don't see students that are going into
Music, for instance.
yes, and we see that what's music? What are they doing in
Someone
music?
that wants to do music is studying biology for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's very important that we lay emphasis on acquiring a skill as well as the bachelor's degree. So we don't get people going overboard trying to make it happen and get that degree just by doing anything. So it has been a very great conversation right there, and I believe our viewers have been having loads and loads of value. Please put in the comment section the emojis, the fire emojis, and everything that you've been getting so far. And please don't forget to invite a friend to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video to a friend. Someone on your timeline will be blessed by this conversation. Please don't forget to share this. So we are already rounding up on this aspect. I don't know if you have anything to say to our viewers, Sakachi.
All right. So one thing I want to say to our viewers is there is God.
Mm.
Yeah, it's always going to be a cliche, but there is God. Right? So why not have confidence in Him? And then He has created you with a whole lot of capacity. So why not trust in what He has given you? Now, another thing that I want to say to our viewers is one of the reasons for which I have my practice, I'm encouraging everyone not to do it, is drugs, vices, all of that. Wrong vices. Those things would limit you. Those things will put you in a place where you will not be encouraged to study your books and learn. You'll be encouraged to just go around the corners and cheat. So where you find yourself in that kind of environment or having peers that have such kind of mind, it's good you remove yourself from there because it's do you no good. It's do you no good, right? Then I think lastly, I think for everyone, both believers or not, it's best that we understand that malpractice is the wrong thing to do. So let's set the standard in our classrooms. Let's set the standard wherever I find ourselves. Let's set the standard when we interact with students. Like You don't just start to student and you make them see that it is normal and right. No, we must, if I use the word, sell the idea. We must let them know that it is wrong to cheat. It's wrong to have to do malpractice in an examination. So just follow the normal practice. And with that, you find peace with yourself. You find satisfaction. If I fail, I fail. If I pass, I pass. I did it myself. Right. And that helps the society at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. My word for our viewers, parents, students, and even the youth there is one, education is not the certificate you obtain. They are the things that you have learned and you can practice. So whether it's inside the campus or outside the campus, just ensure you are educated because education is a continuum. So when you are done with the 4 years course, do you stop your journey there? No. Education is a continuum. So life do not end in the university, and life does not even begin in the university. So look at your priority, look at the things that drive you. What are you interested in? Follow your passion. So that you don't get toast here and there, because when you get toast here and there, you want to just do everything by all means to just get out from that situation. So another thing I want to say is to our parents is for them to also understand that the course that one study does not determine how wealthy that person will become, especially to the our poor background families. What one study does not make that person wealthy. It does not, because I've seen poor doctors, I've seen engineers that are also poor, and we've also seen persons who just have skill and they're very rich. I've seen persons who are businessmen and they're very rich. I attended a conference and the speaker said that the things that make people wealthy, the wealth, they keep it for their children. They don't expose it. So I think we should find out, okay, what makes one rich? There are books. There are books that can give you financial IQ and teach you things you need to do to stand out. So it must not be bachelors of art, bachelors of this, law. No, it must not be what gives you. So let's shift our mind from our studies being our ticket to wealth, and see that who we are actually determines how wealthy we can become. So what do you have in your head? What do you know? That is what determines how far you can go in life. So because every other thing you do, malpractice, you go out there, you can't defend yourself, you bring shame to both your family and to yourself. Imagine someone having AIDS. When we go and check results, and some persons will come and have AIDS, and some I have 5 AIDS. Sometimes you want to ask the person, "Do you merit that A? Is it what you worked for?" And they'll be happy. Why will you be happy for something you not work for? So let's just have that shift in our mind. I think it really help us as a nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sakachi and Sir Brighton. I've been having loads and loads of value right here, and I believe our viewers are also getting something out of this conversation. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone that has stayed tuned to this time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button on your screen, and then keep your tabs on, because we're having lots of exciting conversation that'll be coming your way through this channel. Once again, just from what one of our speakers mentioned, education is not just about the certificate that you earn. University of Port Harcourt, they usually say in character and in learning. So not just about the certificate, your character, your disposition, your value system. It's very important. In addition to the education you're getting, to the learning process. So it's very important as young people, as students, we need to uphold our value system and have the right conviction as it concerns examination malpractice. Till we see you next time, please hit the subscribe button and also invite your friends to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much once again. Do have an amazing time. Bye.